Thursday night is here again, a little after 10:15. The wife's asleep, the children too. That leaves a man with one thing to do. Bring out the laptop, it's time for your date. Settle in and learn your fantasy fate. With a bang, Eddie welcomes you in. He turns his hat, then it's time to begin. The week that was, you might rather forget. Who is the dud and who is the jet? Start the weekend with a dose of the anchor, and laugh your ass off at weekly wanker. Like Federer down at the cots, here's your serve of Thursday thoughts. Like a hobo eating his watts, here's your fill of Thursday thoughts. Like a fat guy putting on shorts, you'll split your sides at Thursday thoughts.
Pusher! Runs inside 50! Pass 1! Pass 2! Inside! Over his right foot! Goal! Pusher! Get around there! Sorry about that, guys. I was just celebrating a great Tiger victory last night. Go you, Tigers! Welcome to Thursday Thoughts with Eddie Anchor. I'm your host, Eddie Anchor. Sorry we're a little bit late this week, but you know, shit happens. Better late than never. Let's get straight into the weekly matchups. Bugger versus Robbo. While Robbo is off all over the countryside, Williams is making an absolute joke out of his team. The last time someone did a worse job of filling in for someone was on Malaysian Airlines when the pilot asked his assistant to take over for a moment while he took a leak. It was probably worse for Williams though, because he crashed his bitch straight into the rocks on the weekend. Worst of all, it was seen by everybody, unlike the plane! Right on the bottom of the ladder. That's where Robbo is right now, all thanks to Williams. Good work, mate! I'm beginning to wonder whether Robbo has banged his missus or something, because the way he sabotaged that team was cruel and unusual punishment for a so-called mate. Speaking of sabotage, the man who needs no one's help to bugger up his team will be eyeing off an easy win, like it was the last pie in the warmer. With so many hours left to make any ridiculous trades, it just isn't enough time for Bunger to successfully trade away defeat from the jaws of victory. Bunger this week in a huge victory, 500 points. We move on to Steve versus Tricky. For a fleeting moment, Steve will feel like king of the world, until those delusions of grandeur are swiftly ripped from beneath him by Mick on the rebound. Having possibly the luckiest week in fantasy football, Steve actually managed to have 2 out of 2 Kangaroos players score well last week. How many years can say that? He certainly can't expect that to happen every week. They spat the dummy and folded up worse than Ben Shinbone. To go with that, a captain score of 313. It's fair to say Steve got lucky. Mick, on the other hand, endured another continued run of bad luck. Did I say bad luck? I meant bad coaching! His team endured another continued run of bad coaching. Did you not learn from the mistakes of others when calling out Travis Cloak's name on draft night? If he had drinking a few marks and kicked a few goals instead of standing in the goal square all night, pumping his guns and parting his hair, you might have actually won. Your entire season now becomes a crapshoot. I'm still picking you this week, but only because you're not Steve. Mick by 11. We move on to the big game of the round. Kamish versus Matt. Through the eons of time, the many have defeated the mighty. For centuries, small and agile have outwitted, outpointed and outplayed the slow, cumbersome and giant opponent. Bilbo Baggins against Smog. Through biblical times, there was David smiting Goliath with a rock to the jaw. Now, I'm not saying the commish will be hitting Matt in the jaw, but after this week, Matt will certainly be rocked. With possibly the greatest ensemble of midfield in Thunderdome history, it'll be a tough decision for the commish on whether Fife, Deledio or Jack get the captain's armband this week. Well, being Friday, we know it's a good thing it wasn't Deledio. Such a decision is not weighing on Matt's mind as he chooses between Dangerfield being captain or no one. During the week, the media labelled Matt's team the worst team to ever sit atop the ladder this year in the competition. There was talks between league hierarchy midweek as to whether the competition should consider liquidation to further avoid embarrassment to all involved. I'm tipping a big fall from grace this week for Matt, and a very big crater to go with it. Matt to be knocked off the top spot, the commish by 92 points. Now, we move on to the sideshow. Ben versus Callum. Oh, jeez, creepers. Oh, no. I was in the doctor's office midweek with a serious case of deja vu. While it's less than surprising, it is a terrible shame to be another year on and still see Callum's team down near the bottom of the ladder, stinking it up like a piece of chicken that got kicked under the cupboard. You'd probably feel less sick eating the chicken than running your eyes over his team, though. He actually rang Brad Scott for some coaching tips this week. That's how bad he's travelling at the minute. Rumours of tanking have already started permeating social media as calls from senior officials actually looking at the job Williams is doing as assistant coach of Robbo's team and thinking he might be a suitable replacement for Callum. Oh, geez, that's a bit rough. If you were picking a team for someone who gave you HIV, you still couldn't be cruel enough to pick a team this bad. You might ask, why is Ben escaping the wrath of Eddie Anker this week when his team travelled just as poorly last week? Well, he's the reigning champ. This shit is hard to win. He's allowed to take a year off and smoke cigars and pick his toes. Besides, he now spends 15 hours a day with no one but himself to talk to. You'd be a little crazy too. The only positive out of this match is at least one of them will have a win on the board next week. I'm tipping it to be Callum because, well, there's no way anyone can suck that badly unless it was on purpose last week. Callum by 5 points. Crikey. Let's get over that game. That wasn't... Oh, jeez. Tom versus Chris. After last week's crushing defeat at the hands of the commish, Chris will be looking to come out strong and rebound with a solid win. You can't always get what you want. No, you can't always get what you want. Unfortunately for Chris, he can want as much as he likes because he runs into this year's league favourite in Tom, and he'll be swatted aside like so many flies that Tom has swatted away before him. No doubt, Will Minson will be looking to atone for a quiet game last week, and with Goldstein struggling with injuries, he can be set for a huge game. He could probably beat Chris on his own. It's going to spell trouble for him. The only glimmer of hope at what looks like being an ever-increasingly dark tunnel for Chris is the likely return of superstar Ryan Griffin. Rumours are swirling that he was refusing to take the field for such a shit cunt, but, like so many vulnerable men before him, Chris managed to talk him into doing what he wanted. He'll make a great politician one day, old Chrissy boy. Either way, this one could get messy. Tom by 340 points. And the last game of the round, Hayos versus Andy. Nobody is quite sure whether this match will even go ahead this week. In fact, neither of these two have actually surfaced from their hobbit holes since draft night. Speculation is gaining momentum quickly. Earlier this week, about the possibility of Hayden being a legitimate vampire. A vampire? I didn't even think they were real. A transmission was actually intercepted from the last known location that was talking about him saying how much he'd love to feel a man's blood pumping in his mouth. Turns out being gay and being a vampire have a lot of similarities. Andrew, on the other hand, has been lying low in Sydney on the back of a huge win last week. A source from inside the camp have indicated the hectic media attention of Adelaide was just too much for the young coach to handle. He's hoping to avoid being stalked by the paparazzi by moving to Sydney. But from this happy snap, it doesn't seem to be working out well for him. I'm not sure his missus would approve of the company he's keeping either. These photos have driven him deeper underground, renting out what used to be a World War II bunker to hide in until his team resorts to its expected low quality that we've come to love and know. As far as the game is concerned, I happen to take Andrew in a close one. His asexual lifestyle is far more conducive to success than Hayden's frivolous homosexual antics. Andy by 13. Now, we've had some special requests to get old Damon back from last week, but I had to put my foot down and we've canned that one, so that's gone. Professor Krabs actually in Geneva, working on a new footy formula for fantasy football. So we've grabbed somebody in from the Work for the Doll program. This is going to be interesting. What does that say? Learn to chef with Keith. All right, let's go. Learn to chef with Keith.
G'day, how the fuck are you lot? The name's Keithy, and this is fucking Learn to Chief with Keith. What? What do you mean it's chef? It's fucking spelled C-H-E-F. Chief. Doesn't make any fucking sense, my name's Keith. Has to be Learn to Chief with Keith, not chef. Fucking Harvard graduate cunts. Dumb bitch can't even fucking spell. She can't spell, and I'm doing the cooking. She'd want to be a fucking good lay. Anyway, I'm Keithy, and as part of my community service, they brought me in from any Northern Footy and Cricket Club, South Australia. Go you fucking wombats! Dig in! I'm the head trainer, chemist, and nutritional expert, and I'm here tonight to take the viewers through some functional match day diet of the elite fantasy footballer. First things first, Keithy's pyramid of healthy eating. It covers the main food groups. We got burgers, chips, chicken, caffeine, and soft drink. Right, now, imagine, come in close boys, it's Saturday morning. After tying one on all night with Jezza and Robbo, you're pushing shit uphill to make it to the game on time. You need a solid feed before the game. Now, we check the fridge. And we got all the fucking essentials. We got a can of Pepsi, and leftover popcorn chicken, and chips. Fuck off. Now, sugar-free if you can. Try to be healthy and all. Alright, I hear you jumping up and down saying you're not going to get any goodness out of that. You're right. It's why nature's cure-all. Fucking caffeine. Keeping your teeth a fucking healthy yellow. Right, now, that'll top you right off. Now, boys, come in. We're in a hurry. You'll never be able to check the tab guide with two hands and fucking eat this at the same time. Old Keithy's got you fucking covered. Alright, we'll take all of this. Bit of fancy schmancy shit. Just like Jamie fucking Oliver. Bit of fucking coffee. Pepsi Max. And as Jamie Oliver says, we wazz this fucking shit up. And in fucking no time at all, got a fucking beauty. Got a solid protein shake to get you moving. Now, look at this. Fucking look at it. Old fucking Keithy's got you covered, hasn't he? Look at that. Oh, Keithy. Alright. We've got the fucking drink. That's fucking delicious. Alright. Now the key is you're going to stop off for a burger. You'll need the fibre to keep you regular. You'll be nice and fucking clean uniform, all tucked in. The last thing you want to do is get fucking sauce on it. Here's a few simple steps to ensure you get to the game in one piece and look shit up when you do. Now, imagine we're fucking driving down Main North. Got burger in hand and a tab guide in the other. Take our fucking quarter pounder, insert 2 fingers behind the back of the box and open. Alright? Now, grab the burger between your thumb and forefinger. See that shit? Fucking work of art. Now, hold in. Can't fucking see the road. Before you take a bite, Macca's has fucking done this brilliantly. Look at this. The little fucking tabs for the special sauce. Fucking bang! I can drive, I can see, I can eat. My shit stays clean. Keefy will fucking look after you. Like I said, boys, old fucking Keefy's got you covered. Fuck off, brother. Whoa! Before we even get out of this week's episode, I can tell you he was wrong. Langdon made it through to pick 3! Someone seriously needs to explain the point of this segment to the Wiz, because he's making the whole show look unprofessional. Speaking of which, is there any way we can get some fucking instrumentals for that opening segment? Seriously! It's making the whole show look ridiculous. An oboe, a French horn, some guy with a triangle, I don't give a fuck. It looks awful. Anyway, free agent of the week. This week, a genuine up-and-comer of the comp looks set to string together 2 huge games in a row against meagre opposition. Stephen Caniglio absolutely tore apart a supposedly professional outfit in Sydney last week, and he meets the Saints this week. He will be looking to justify his high draft pick a few years ago this week. Like a few of the GWS lads, he's finally packed on the beef to match it with the superstars, and he could become a keeper for the rest of the year for any potential coaches out there. Just has to improve his consistency a little bit, but always seems to be in the right spot and is a clean user. Get on him. After the success of Matt Rosa last week, Eddie's free agent of the week is who you should be listening to, boys! Alright, final segment tonight. Let's get it over and done with. Shit's taking too long. I've got footy to watch. I've got burgers to eat. Fucking let's go. Eddie Anchor's Weekly Wanker. Some people like to speak about the likes of Gilchrist and Tony Lockett and Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain when it comes to strike rates. Players who are able to maximise their return on every opportunity. None of these men are running at 100% though. How good would someone need to be to achieve the ultimate goal on their very first and only opportunity? I think that this bloke, this is the bloke that Eminem was singing about when he talked about capturing one moment. To achieve this prestigious award in the only week he will ever coach a team in this league is something to truly behold. With a very easy set of trading instructions to follow, this was bullet! He was able to do the exact opposite and not only trade away players that were playing, but bring in ones that weren't. Yeah, Robert only had 16 players. Never has there been, or will there be again, such incompetence within the 4 walls of this competition. For absolutely fucking up 6 months of planning and preparation in 35 seconds of coaching! Williams! You get Eddie Anchor's Weekly Wanker. Don't ever let me see you in this league again! Never! As long as I'm involved! Get out! Thursday Thoughts, done and dusted. See you next week.